Well, everyone, looks like AEW, turned out to be another terrible show tonight. Can you believe it? Another terrible show tonight. Name my topic tonight is called Ridiculous and Repulsive in Reading. And I'm gonna give you my full gear predictions, and I'm gonna tell you how good it is again, and about what will be a feature for AEW, and Toni Storm and Britt Baker getting fired and stuff effective immediately. But before I do, I'm gonna open up the show a little bit of something. I'm gonna open the show to one of my favorite childhood shows. The theme from one of my favorite childhood shows growing up when I was little. It's based on the Marvel comic book Spider-Man, aired on Fox's children's block, Fox Kids. Date was November 19th, 1994. So I'm gonna open up the theme song for all of you. Some of you that grew up in the 90s watching just watching Spider-Man. I grew up in the 90s on Fox Kids. So stick around right back and play the theme song for all of you and on his 30th and on his belated 30th anniversary for all of you. So stick around, we'll be right back. And play the theme song for all of you. Yep, happy 30th anniversary of Spider-Man. Show that debuted on Fox Kids, November 19th, 1994. One of my favorites. Yep, that's right. Hold on one second. Yep, November 19th, 1994, where it all started. One of my favorite childhood shows on Fox Kids, where it all started. Yep. Feel old, very old. So let's get down to business. Start with tonight's show. The name of the topic for AEW Dynamite is called Ridiculous and Repulsive in Reading, Pennsylvania. And let's see. And I'm going to tell all of you what will be the future for AEW and what am I get my predictions for Full Gear this Saturday. And Toni Storm and Britt Baker being released from AEW. Let's get down with tonight's show. retiring. Let's get down to business. Hold on a second. Okay, let's get down to business. Like I said, hey, okay, the show opens with November Rain music video to build this Saturday's Full Gear on pay-per-view. From there, we go to ringside where the first team makes their way to the ring for our opening match of the night. Ricochet and Powerhouse Hobbs are out first, followed by Will Ospreay and Mark Davis for this all-star 8-man tag team affair. Out next are the Don Callis family as they step to the stage to booze. But the good guys make their way out to fight with the Monster Army. Way ahead of this match getting underway. Okay, we start off with after Davis and Takashita get into the ring trading strikes before a tag is made to Ricochet, but it doesn't take long for chaos to ensue between all 8 men once again. Don Callis' men go after the quartet at ringside until recently tagged Lance Archer brings Ricochet back into the ring. Looking for a choke slam until Ricochet escapes. Ospreay takes the ropes. Ospreay takes to the ropes to cut off Motor Monster to no avail. He's sent out of the ring by Archer. He then sends Ricochet flying to the outside as we go to picture-in-picture. The family maintains control as they isolate Ricochet in the corner, making a tag to cage to keep him at bay. Takashita tags in to go after his future challenger as we come back from the break. We get a look back at Powerhouse being taken out of the match after being sent to the steel steps. As Ricochet takes the fight back to the international champion, he sends Takashita to the mat before tagging in Ospreay. With Fletcher tagging in to get his hands on a man, he faces at Full Gear. They trade strikes before Will hits the ropes to get one over his former undenied Umpire teammate, leading to a blind tag from Konosuke. Osprey and Davis double teamed the champion for a near fall, but Archer and Cage rush in to get to the edge on Osprey. They launch him into a blue thunder bomb from Takashi for the cover, but Osprey manages to kick out. This leads to Fletcher tagging back in for revenge, sending him to the corner before stomping away. We see Power Hobbs hobbling back down the ramp as Davis is sent off the apron. Osprey is kept away from a tag by Takashita. But not long before as Powerhouse gets into the fray. Cage and Archer try to intervene with a double suplex, only to be sent down to the canvas by Haas, who ends up sending all four men to a corner each. Archer is first up to his feet, however, going after the Powerhouse until Mark Davis makes the tag. The family continues to get involved until Kyle Fletcher makes a tag, confronting his former Aussie Open teammate Davis as he shoves him away. Takashita gets the drop on Davis but is fended off by Hobbs before Osprey takes Kano Suzuki down. He turns his attention to Fletcher, telling him to come back in, and Kyle obliges to trading strikes with Osprey. Will gets the advantage in the end, but setting up for a hidden blade. But Fletcher manages to evade, forcing Osprey to take out Davis instead. The fight spills to the outside as Osprey hits the top on Cage, and Fletcher put back into the ring. Takashi drops Davis with a power knee for the win. We cut to a vignette from the Death Riders. We cut to a vignette from the Death Riders as John Moxley says he doesn't care what kind of a person Orange Cassidy is before promising to take him out at Full Gear. He shifts gears to the match between Darby Allin and Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio shouts and swists about what is to come tonight. When we then get a promo elsewhere from Darby promising to take Claudio down before we get a video package for remaining dates in the November to Remember tour, to brings us to a commercial break. cut to the parking lot as Renee talks about the Hurt Syndicate, leading to an announcement from MVP that Appalachia will be in action tonight. Before we get any further details, we see the Almighty One blindsided by Swerve Strickland. The former champ makes his mark before we cut away. Back at ringside, Adam Cole makes his way to the ring to a big pop from the crowd. Back at ringside, Adam Cole makes his way to the ring to a big pop from the crowd as we are reminded that he will not be facing MJF at Full Gear. But Roderick Strong is as strong as he has earned his 3 victories. Inside the ring, Adam Cole says it's story time as he addresses his friend Roderick Strong as he earning the wins needed to face MJF. As he says the two of them have the same goal of being MJF, that's what he promised he will do at Full Gear. I want to say, okay, What was I? MJF. Wait. Carlos O'Reilly music hits as he makes his way to the out of the ring. The mic in hand, he addresses the history he and Cole share. This history makes him the only man who could tell Adam Cole the truth that this crusade against MJF needs to end. He talks about Strong barely managing to make it out alive last week and wants to end MJF at Full Gear, but at what cost? Cole asks if Kyle doesn't want to see MJF stop, but O'Reilly says he only knows what happens. But when people play fire, they get burned. He ends by saying MJF is more evil than Cole, which he considers a good thing before dropping the mic and leave the ring. Cole's confused by the statement as we cut away. Backstage, Orange Cassidy dresses Rhea Yuta, promising that he will beat him in that ring on his own. The rest of the Conjuration come to intervene, offering to have his back, but Cassidy asks him strongly to keep away from the match tonight at Full Gear. Back at ringside, Chris Statlander makes her way down the ramp for our next match. Hikaru Shida makes her way to the ring next, and this match gets underway. The match here is Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. The two women circle the mat before locking up, with Statlander getting the upper hand first. A second lockup attempt leads to Statlander finding out the waist lock to take Shida to the mat, only for the former women's world champion to send Chris to the corner. She mounts out with some punches before Statlander sends her to the canvas for a near fall. Shida takes the fight back to Chris now, bringing her into the corner for a straitjacket hold for sending her into the mat. She rolls out of the ring, sending Statlander up to her apron for a cross-running knee that sends her to the floor as we go to picture-in-picture. Picture-in-picture, Shida continues to control the pace of the match on the outside, bringing Statlander back into the ring, only to get a near fall before transitioning to a chin lock that keeps Chris on the mat, only for Statlander to keep her on her feet, dropping Shida with a back suplex before getting a near fall off a roll-up. Both women are on their feet as Shida hits a big forearm strike followed by an enziguri that leaves them both on the mat. Statlander gets back up slowly, only to take a strike from Shida as we come back from a commercial break. Shida goes for a katana, but Statlander fends her off, only for Shida to take the fight back to her, only for a Falcon Arrow in the cover. But Chris manages to kick out both women back to their feet, as Sandler gets dropped with a boot by Shida, who follows up with a German suplex on the former TBS champion, AEW TBS champion, AEW TBS Women's Champion, who counters another katana attempt, hitting a Wednesday Night Fever for the win. Winner is Chris Statlander. Wow. Chris offers her a hand to Shida following the match, but is interrupted by rival Mercedes Moné, we know was Sasha Banks, as the AEW TBS Women's Champion, and Camille step out into the stage. Moné tells Redding to say hello to their CEO before running down. The Sixers are in hyping up her Celtics. She talks about Chris before giving the fans another fun fact pointing out that she held the AEW TBS Women's Championship longer before Statlander before promising she will never lose the title. As reading crowd let her know what they think of her. Now I call it. I prefer they call it the AEW TBS Women's Championship, not necessarily TBS Championship, because that should have been added to yeah, AEW and Women's next to Championship and TBS. This riles the champ who tells Camille to go after Stant Leonard and finish the job, but Chris and Sheeta manage to send the Brick House out of the ring. Monet tries to blindside her challenger, but is trapped with a Wednesday Night Fever by Stant Leonard, who stands over the AEW Women's AEW TBS Women's Champion with a title in hand. This was a terrible promo. This was a terrible promo tonight. Terrible promo. This promo was absolutely shitty. Shitty promo. The worst. The worst promo I've ever seen in my life. Backstage, MVP and Shelton Benjamin try to sneak attack Swerve Strickland, only to find out that he handed his coat to someone else who takes Kane into the mid section. But we get a graphic that Bobby Lashley will be in action as we go to a commercial. Back at ringside, Bobby Lashley makes his way to the ring for our next match as he makes his AEW ring debut against Joe Keys and Cheeseburger. As this match gets underway, as the bell rings, this match gets underway. Now we go to a 2-on-1 match: Bobby Lashley versus Joe Keys and Cheeseburger. Both men are easily thrown around Lashley at the start, with Keys being sent out of the ring before Lashley turns his attention to Cheeseburger. He takes the ROH standout down hard for a near fall, but Keys breaks the pin into a big pop from the crowd. This doesn't sit well with Lashley, who drops Cheeseburger before taking Keys out with a spear. This is followed by Lashley clinching in the hurt lock on Keys, who is out almost immediately as the ref calls for the bell. Winner by submission, Bobby Lashley. Terrible match. Bullshit. Yeah. I'm gonna do a sneezing on that, coughing sneeze like that to do this. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, cough because bullshit. Yeah. The celebration is cut short as Swerve Strickland's music hits, forcing the Hurt Syndicate to track him down, only for Swerve to come out under the ring to getting a jump on Lashley with a chain. MVP Benjamin rushed to the ring, but Strickland evades them before making his exit through the crowd. We cut backstage where Mariah and Mina Shikara are ready to team up together on Rampage ahead of May finally getting her championship celebration at Full Gear 2024 this Saturday. She talks about being on top of the division, and Mina promised celebration she will never forget as we cut away. Back at ringside, Darby Allin makes his way out of the ring for our next match. Out is Claudio Castagnoli through the crowd as this match gets underway. Hold on a second. Yeah, back at the ringside, Allen makes his way out to the ring for our next match. His next is Claudio Castagnoli through the crowd as the match gets underway. Match is next Darby Allin versus Claudio Castagnoli. Darby gets back to his feet before both men circle the mat, with Allin getting out of Claudio's grasp to take him down before Castagnoli leaves the ring for a breather. Darby awaits the Swiss man's return to the ring, where he catches Claudio off guard with a near fall. Claudio leaves the ring again, but Thistle is met with a coffin drop by Darby, only to catch the AEW TNT champion in midair, sending him to the barricade for an uppercut, sending Darby into the crowd. Claudio enters the ring as Darby struggles to his feet, only for Claudio to intercept him for a delayed vertical suplex, bringing him back into the ring before dumping him into canvas. Claudio stands tall over Darby as we go to picture-in-picture. Claudio maintains and controls. He lays into Darby with some strikes, forcing him out of the ring. Before the ref intervenes, Darby gets back into the ring apron but is cut off by Claudio, who starts twisting his head to keep the pain on Allin. Darby fights to his feet before sending Claudio to the corner with some right hands, but is sent to the outside by Castagnoli instead. Darby gets back in the ring but is kept on the mat by Claudio, who goes to work on his shoulder before Darby tries fighting back. This is met with resistance as Claudio is back on his shoulder as we come back from the break. Darby fights to his feet, only to be sent flying to the corner into the outside by Castagnoli. Claudio leaves the ring, slamming Allin to the barricade before bringing him back into the ring. But Darby gets to the apron, cutting him off before hitting a pair of dives that forces the World Trios Champion into the barricade. He brings Claudio back into the ring for a coffin drop, but Castagnoli cuts him off at the barricade before sending him up for a gut wrench suplex off the top. Covered by Claudio, but Darby manages to kick out. Claudio gets ready. Hold on a second. He brings Claudio back into the ring for a coffin drop, but Castagnoli cuts him off, sending off the turnbuckle before sending him up for a gut wrench suplex off the top rope. Covered by Claudio, he manages Darby to kick out, but Claudio gets ready for a giant swing on Darby. Who catches him with a clutch for a near fall instead. For the 2 lockups, leading Code Red by Allin for another close 2 count. Claudio gets Darby to the corner for some strikes, forcing him down to the mat before Allin grabs the ropes for leverage, only to be sent to the outside once more by Castagnoli. Claudio leaves the ring, pulling Darby before hitting a giant swing that sends him to steel steps and then sends him flying over the announce table. Claudio continues the attack as he sets Darby on the announce table, hoisting up over his shoulders, launching him through the table. Off the outside, the table refuses to give, and one only that can hope Darby's spirit is resilient as the ref checks on him. He heads to the back to the ring. The ref eventually returning as well, to begin the count. But Darby gets back in the ring at 8. Claudio gets the jump at him with the lariat, however, finally pulling Darby away for a victory. Backstage, Renee talks about Private Party about accompanying a 4-way tag match at Full Gear. We get our first appearance of the night from Costco guys. Big Justice talks to Zay about the face he made before AJ. He talks about his big announcement up next. Before we get to that, however, we cut to MJF pulling up Westward before addressing Roderick Strong ahead of their match at Full Gear. He talks about what Roderick is willing to do for his friend Adam Cole. Running Cole down as we get to a look back at Strong's path facing MJF this Saturday. Max promises to send Roderick back where he belongs in visual anguish. But that's then we go to commercial. Backstage, we hear from Big Justice and Big Boom AJ ahead of his match against QT Marshall at Full Gear 0 hour. AJ talks about his importance bringing the Big Boom to AEW this Saturday before announcing that the Rizzler will be the one ringing the bell for that match. With that, we cut to ringside where Toni Schiavone welcomes Roderick Strong. Roderick and the Undisputed Kingdom come out to address MJF's comments leading up to their match at Full Gear. With Strong calling it MJF's privilege for saying that he has earned everything he has, Strong wants Max to look in the mirror and think about what he's done, everything he's done, and realize that at Full Gear he will pay for all those sins. And it's all over. Strong says he will earn the best night of sleep in his night, and that week will break MJF's back and leave him humble. We get a video package highlighting the feud between Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia before Daddy Magic reveals the rest of the footage from Saturday night. We cut Menard and Garcia confronting Perry off some undisclosed location where Garcia is confronted with what he's become and thanks to the scapegoat. Perry starts talking about sacrifice before Garcia cuts him off, promising he will never go to the place Perry wants him to go. Garcia has something else for the TNT champion, however, taking a crowbar from Skate Mobile, sending a message to Perry, who laughs, asking if that's it, and Garcia and Menard make their exit. We cut backstage where Renee is sitting with Chris Jericho and Tomohiro Ishii for the contract signing. Ahead of their Ring of Honor Championship match, Jericho talks about needing to get to the contract and look over by his legal eagles before leaving the room, only for Ishii to stalk him down the hallway as Jericho tries to make his escape. Jericho tries throwing hurdles into the way of the Stone Pitbull, including their various staff, as the pair make their way upstairs into the crowd. Ishii continues to follow the Learning Tree's main man to the ringside, with both men entering the ring as Jericho calls for a microphone. Jericho says he will sign this contract, but he doesn't have a pen, only for Big Tom to reveal a pen of his own. Handing over to Jericho. Jericho, very reluctant, he signs the contract just in time for his big students to blindside the challenger. Big Bill and Brian Keith prop up to the Tomohiro for Jericho to attack, but a combination come out to even the numbers. Big Bill tries to fend them off, but is forced to the outside, while Mark Briscoe drops Keith with the driller before Ishii hits Jericho with a sheer drop brainbuster. He signs the contract, standing tall over the Ring of Honor World Champion, ROH World Champion, as he drops the contract beside him. Then we go to a commercial break. Backstage, Jamie Harris starts to address Julia Hart, interrupting her last week for another Julia Hart finish that reveals that she is ready to come home. Back at ringside, the Orange Cassidy makes his way out for our main event. He enters the ring as Wheeler Yuta makes his way out through the crowd, next keeping an eye on Orange Cassidy as he heads to the ring to get this match underway. And we'll see this match: Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. Yuta gets a running kick on Cassidy to start things off, sending him to the corner to lay in some strikes. He sends Cassidy across the ring, but Orange Cassidy fends him off for a near fall. Yuta is quick to his feet, but Cassidy keeps him off his gang, leading to a standstill between them. The pair go back at it with Orange Cassidy getting a DDT block with some counters into a Slumdog Millionaire for forcing Yuta out of the ring for a dive. Real looks for a brainbuster on the outside, eventually taking Cassidy to the barricade before laying him some hard kicks. Yuta heads back into the ring, removing the middle turnbuckle pad as Cassidy tries to fight back, only to be driven face first into the exposed turnbuckle by Yuta. Orange finally Orange manages to finally fight back, but is just as quickly brought to the apron before Wheeler Yuta sends him to the hardest part of the ring with a DDT as we go to picture in picture. Yuta stays on the attack and brings Cassidy back into the ring, but Orange turns the tables on him with a superplex as we come back from the break. The two get to their feet, trading strikes until Cassidy takes Wheeler to the mat. He mounts up for some punches on Yuta for getting back up. Heading the corner as he sets up for an orange punch, but Yuta cuts him off, sending Cassidy to the corner for hitting a side slam. Yuta back to his feet for some hammer and elbows on Cassidy, who fights to his feet after going after the hands of Wheeler. Soul Food by Cassidy is followed by a Michinoku driver, but Yuta kicks out at 2. Both men back up as Cassidy takes the ropes, but is cut off for a tombstone pile driver by Yuta for a near fall. Wheeler lays into the hammer and Anvil elbows Cassidy on and transitioning into a cattle mutilation clinched in, but Cassidy manages to get his foot on the rope, forcing a break. The ref intervenes, telling Yuta to break the hold, yielding Yuta to shoving him away before leaving the ring for a steel chair. He gets back in the ring, taking a wire swing at Cassidy, who evades it, catching Yuta by surprise for a pin to pick up the victory. Winner is Orange Cassidy. Pinfall. Yuta gets to his feet as Cassidy confronts him after the match, but the moment is interrupted by the arrival of the remaining Death Riders, who go after Cassidy. Hold on a second. Stupid things driving me crazy in this. Trying to see what I stuff. So. Stupid computers driving me crazy, man. Okay, Trying to figure. Trying to figure out. Hold on a second. No, I'll just go go with what I said about Bobby Lashley. Or about yeah okay yeah I'm sorry Renee Young tossed a private party about the upcoming four-way tag match at Full Gear this Saturday. Before we get our first appearance of the night from the Costco guys, Big Justice talks to Zay before about a face he made before AJ talks about his big announcement up next. Before we get to that, however, we cut to MJF pulling up elsewhere before addressing Roderick Strong ahead of their match at Full Gear. He talks about what Roderick is willing to do for his friend Adam Cole, running down as we get a look back at Strong's path facing MJF this Saturday. Banks promised to send Roderick back where he belongs in Physical Angels. With that statement, we go to picture in picture. As we go to commercial. We hear from Big Justice and Big Boom AJ ahead of this match against QT Marshall Full Gear Zero hour. AJ talks about the importance of bringing Big Boom in AEW to this Saturday for announcing that Rizzler will be the one ringing the bell for that match. With that, we cut to ringside where Tony Schiavone welcomes Roderick Strong. Roderick and Undisputed Kingdom addressed the um at, to address MJF's comments leading their up that match at Full Gear. Roderick Strong calling out MJF previously for saying he's earned everything he has. Roderick Strong wants to look in the mirror about thinking about everything he's done. At Full Gear, he'll pay for all those sins. When it's all over, Strong says he will earn the best night of his sleep of his night, and then he'll break MJF's back and leave him humbled. We get a video package highlighting the feud between Jack Perry and Johnny Garcia before Daddy Magic reveals the rest of his footage from this Saturday night. We cut to Menard and Garcia confronting Perry off on a closed location where Garcia is confronted with what he has become. With the scapegoat, Perry starts talking about sacrifice before Garcia cuts him off, promising he will never go to the place Perry wants him to go. Garcia has something else for the TNT AEW champion. However, he's taking Crowbar and Escape Mobile, sending a message to Perry, who laughs, asking if you just marking his making his Garcia and not making it their exit. We cut backstage where Renee is sitting in Chris Jericho and Tomohiro Ishii for the contract signing ahead of their Ring of Honor World Championship match. He talks about their needing to get to the contract looking over by Legal Eagles leaving the room, only for Ishii to stalk him down the hallway as Jericho makes his escape. Jericho tries throwing hurdles into the way of a stone pitbull, cloning their various staff as they're picking their way to the upstairs and to the crowd. Ishii continues following the learning trees, main man ringside. With both men entering, Jericho calls for a microphone. Jericho says he would sign his contract, but he doesn't have a pen only for Big Tom to reveal a pen of his own, handing over to Jericho. Jericho very reluctantly agrees to sign the contract just in time for his students to blindside the challenger. Big Bill and Brian Keith prop to Tom Hero for Jericho to attack, but the conglomeration come out to even the numbers. Big Bill tries to fend him off, but is forced to the outside while Mark Briscoe drops to Keith with Jay Driller for Ishii hits Jericho with a shield drop bangbuster. He signs with the contract, saying over the Ring of Honor World Champion as he drops the contract beside him. Terrible. Commercial break. Backstage, Jamie Hayter starts to address Julia Hart, interrupting her last week for another Julia Hart vision that reveals that she is ready to come home. Back at ringside, Orange Cassidy makes his way out for a main event as we head to the ring as Yuta makes his way to the entrance. Due to the crowd next to keeping an eye on Cassidy as he heads to the match as his match gets in the ring as this match gets underway. Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta versus Wheeler Yuta. Yuta gets running kick on Cassidy for starting off sending him to the corner and lays some strikes as he sends Cassidy across the ring, but Orange Cassidy fends him off for a near fall, but Yuta quick to his feet. But Cassidy keeps him off his game, leading to a standstill between them. The pair go back at ass with Cassidy getting a DDT block with counters right into the stun dog millionaire before forcing Yuta out of the ring for a dive. Real looks for a brainbuster outside the ring, eventually taking Cassidy before the barricade before landing him some hard kicks. Yuta heads back into the ring, removing on the middle turnbuckle as Pat Cassidy tries to fight back and to be driven face force into his exposed turnbuckle by Yuta. Orange Cassidy manages to finally fight back, but this is quickly brought to the apron for Wheeler. He sends him into the hardest part, to the ring DDT. As we go to picture in picture. Picture in picture, Wheeler stays on the attack as he brings in Orange Cassidy back into the ring. Orange turns the tables back on him with a suplex as we come back from the break. The True Straight get their feet train strikes until Orange Cassidy takes Wheeler into the mat. He mounts out for some punches on Yuta before getting back heading into the corner successful for an orange punch. Yuta cuts him off, sending Cassidy into the corner before hitting a side slam. Yuta back to his feet for some hammer and anvil elbows on Cassidy, who fights to his feet, going after the hands of Wheeler. Soul Food by Cassidy is followed by a Mission Nuclear Driver, but Yuta kicks out at 2. Both men back up as Cassidy takes to the ropes, but is cut off for a tombstone pile driver by Yuta for a near fall. Wheeler lays in hammer and anvil crossbows on Cassidy, transitioning into a cattle mutilation clinched in. But Cassidy manages to get his foot on the rope to force a break. The ref intervenes, telling Yuta to break the hold, leading Yuta shoving him away before leaving the ring for a steel chair. He gets back in the ring, taking a wide swing at Cassidy, who evades it, catching Yuta by surprise for the pin to pick up the victory. Winner, Orange Cassidy. Wheeler gets to his feet as Cassidy confronts him after the match, but the moment is interrupted by the arrival of the remaining Dutch riders who go after Cassidy. They put his pockets before wrapping him in duct tape, making him prone for an attack by the whole group, leading a punch by Max. They go back in. They go back on the attack, taking a helpless Cassidy test before he tries to fight back, to no avail as he gets dropped to the mat once more by Moxley. Death Riders stand tall over Cassidy before making their exit through the crowd, with the congregation coming down as we cut to him free from the tape. Cassidy finally makes it back to his feet, revealing a pair of sunglasses he puts on his face before putting his hands in his pockets to defy Mox, staring him down as Dynamite comes to a close. This was terrible, ridiculous, and repulsive in Reading tonight in Reading, Pennsylvania. I'd say this is just terrible, and I just heard it's unbelievable. I mean, Toni Storm. I just got the word. Toni Storm just been removed. Just got she's gone from AEW effective immediately. Toni Storm. I just heard. Yeah, Toni Storm is retiring. Yeah, she's not being fired. She's retiring. I mean, at 29 years old. Wow, 29. Can you believe it? 29 years old. And I heard that Britt Baker is being. I heard that Britt Baker's is being released, she's quitting AEW. I heard too. That's true. Now it's time for I to give you my full gear predictions from full gear predictions. Okay, my full gear predictions: Big Boom AJ with Big Justice versus QT Marshall in a singles match. I'm gonna go with Big Boom AJ. MJ versus Roderick Strong. I'm gonna go with Roderick Strong. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. I'm gonna go with Adam Page. Private Party. Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Wayne versus the Outrunners. Truth Magnum and Turbo 4 versus the Kings of Blackthorn. Malachi Black and Brody King versus the Acclaim. Anthony Bounce, Max Caster. I'm gonna go with the Acclaimed. Mercedes Moné with Camille versus Chris Stanton. I'm gonna say over the AEW. Yeah, this is a fatal 4-way tag team match. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Yeah, that match I announced. Number 4. Okay, number 5, Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks with Camille versus Chris Statlander for the AEW TBS Women's Championship. I say Mercedes Moné is going to cheat to win. There's no way they'll drop the title to Chris Statlander. Sir Strickland versus Bobby Lashley singles match. Sir Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Bobby Lashley is gonna pull this off. AEW TNT Championship. Jungle Jackass Perry versus Dane Garcia. I'm gonna say Dane Garcia, but I feel like Jungle Jackass Perry is gonna pull this off. Singles match: Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. I'm gonna say Kyle Fletcher. And John Moxley versus aka the Dean Ambrose from Dean Ambrose versus Orange Cassidy for AEW World Championship. I'm gonna say I think John Moxley retains, I believe. Yeah. And that's it. Now it's time for something I'll do. I don't know what's the stars is going on for AEW for 2025. I mean, I think it's gonna be it's gonna be the downfall for AEW. I believe. Trust me. I think Full Gear is not gonna be looking that good. Now it's time for something I like to do. It's time for it's time for Justin's timeline history of all the wrestling, birthdays, sports, section, all everything. Wrestling, all the timeline history. All you hear that little thing is the pink Back to the Future style Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd.
Just bring in your pillow for the morning. Good, you got your 2 waters. Good. There you go. Love ya.
Love you too. Sleep good.
You too, buddy.
Okay, November. Let's go to November 19th, shall we? Okay, yesterday was a happy 27th birthday. Happy 27th birthday to Jamie yesterday was a happy 27th birthday to Matt Hader. Okay, today's a happy 27th birthday to Australian wrestler Matt Hader. See. See. Okay, yesterday was would have been a happy Okay, 64. Yeah, Mrs. Elizabeth, Macho Man's wife. Macho Man storyline wife, Miss Elizabeth. She would have been 64 yesterday. And November the 19th, 1994. See, The Undertaker on November 19th, 1994, on WWF Superstars. The Undertaker defeated Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Adam Ball. This was leading up to Survivor Series 94. The Undertaker defeated Jim the Anvil Neidhart with Owen Hart. Adam Ball defeated Reno Regan's. Jeff Jarrett defeated Mike Bell. Razor Ramon defeated Nick Barbary to retain the Intercontinental title. King Kong Bundy defeated and King Kong Bundy with Ted DiBiase defeated Ben Jordan. And see the WWF WCW Saturday Night. Kevin Sullivan with Avalanche and the Butcher defeated Todd Morton. Avalanche defeated I don't know who defeated is in 2-on-1 handicap match. Harlem Heat was Harlem Heat Booker T and Stevie Ray defeated with Sensational State defeated unknown person. Stars and Stripes Marcus Bagwell and the Patriot defeated Arn Anderson and Bunkhouse Buck. And pop culture, November 19th, 1994. TV show Spider-Man I just mentioned turned Spider-Man debuted on Fox's Children's Box Fox Kids November 1994. And ABC aired a family movie called How the West Was Fun, one of my favorite childhood movies, starring the Olsen twins and the late comedian Martin Mull playing the bad guy in the movie who bullies the Olsen bullies Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen in the movie to get them out of the ranch. Good family-oriented Western movie. Scene. Sorry about everyone. A little technical issue right there. Right there. Yeah, I mentioned our technical difficulty. Yeah, I mentioned about the Olsen twins and about how the West was fun. It's 12:29 right now. Get here last night's lap for Monday's rest in history. 2004, November 19th. See. Okay, a couple of movies released in theaters on November 19th. Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason, starring with Renee Zellweger reprising her role, also starring Colin Firth and Hugh Grant. The SpongeBob movie, based on the Nickelodeon TV show, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and National Treasure starring Nicolas Cage was released in theaters. Also co-starring Harvey Keitel and Jon Voight. And let's see, 2004 on Impact Wrestling. Planet Jarrett attacks the entire AEW team, leading up their feud at Turning Point. Then Macho Man Randy Savage returns to save save. Macho Man Randy Savage returns, joins TNA, or Wrestling Comeback. Joins teams up with the Master J. They will be he'll be competing at Turning Point to face off against team up with AJ Styles. Hold on a second. Team up with AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and the Macho Man Randy Savage against Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, playing Jarrett in a 6-man tag team match at Turning Point 2004. And see. See, trying to figure out. See, 2014 Impact Wrestling. Taryn Terrell defeated Gail Kim and Havoc in a three-way match to win the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. Abyss and James Storm defeated the Wolves, Davey Richards, and Eddie Edwards to win the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Chris Melendez defeated Kenny King with MVP by DQ. Low-Key defeated DJZ and Mannix in Tag in a Fatal 4-way match to win the TNA X Division Championship, and Brown defeated Tommy Dreamer in a hardcore match. Now let's go to yesterday's November the 20th. Okay, Super Dave Osborne would have been. He made a wrestling appearance on Monday Night Raw one time. Super Dave Osborne, he won 82 yesterday. Okay, see. Trying to see what other birthdays. Mama Benjamin, comedian, she was a storyline wrestler, Thea. She turned 70. She a comedian played by Thea Vidal, comedian. She would have been. She turned 68 yesterday. That's Thea. She was a funny lady. Okay. 1994 WWF Wrestling Challenge. Bob Backlund with Owen Hart defeated Tony DeVille heading up the Survivor Series. Bob Backlund with Owen Hart defeated Tony DeVille heading up the Survivor Series '94. Bob Backlund with Owen Hart defeated Tony DeVille. So I messed up. I say Backlund. Wait, I'm sorry again. Bob Backlund with Owen Hart. The Rocket Owen Hart defeated Tony DeVille. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. Defeated Tony DeVille, just hyping up the Survivor Series '94. Bob Holly defeated. Hardcore Holly defeated Phil Apollo. Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Kevin Nash defeated Aaron Ferguson. The Native American Tatanka the Turncoat with Ted DiBiase, Million Dollar and Ted DiBiase defeated Team McNeely. And to 1-2-3 Kid known as X-Pac and the British Bulldog Davey Ward Smith, God rest his soul, defeated Gary Owens. You defeated Gary Scott and the Executioner. And Sunday Night Slam, Survivor Series special called Sunday Night Slam took place. The Smoking Buns defeated the Heavenly Bodies. Yokozuna defeated John Crystal. And British Bulldog David Ward Smith defeated Owen Hart. Sorry about another technical issue again, folks. Sorry about that. Let's go now. I already mentioned earlier about the wrestling history. Sunday Night Slam. I got that covered. Let's see WWE Velocity. So I'm trying to get everything fixed and on the way. Hardcore Holly defeated Spike Dudley. And WWE Velocity, Hardcore Holly defeated Spike Dudley. The Big Show defeated Stephen Lee and Chad Miller in a handicap match. Shannon Moore defeated Akio. Luther Reigns and Mark Jr. defeated Nunzio and Sho Funaki. Yeah. And on WWE NXT, Becky Lynch defeated Bayley. The Vaudevillains defeated Lucha Dragons. Baron Corbin defeated Elias Sampson. Bull Dempsey defeated Steve Cutler. Tyson Kidd defeated C.J. Parker. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. SAWFT Soft. How you doing? Defeated Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. And let's see what else. Paige on WWE Superstars, Paige defeated Alicia Fox and Sin Cara defeated Curtis Axel. And let's see what else. See some sports from November 19th. Any sports from November 19th. Okay, Monday Night Football for 1984, November the 19th. 1984, Monday Night Football, Monday, November 19th, 1984 from sports. Oh, a friend of mine from Pittsburgh is going to like this. The Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the New Orleans Saints 24-27. A friend of mine from Pittsburgh really loves what's like this. It was on ABC's Monday Night Football. And that will do it for Monday night for my little review. I'm talking longer because a little technical difficulties with my computer. I'll close out the show with something a little bit for all of you. A little song from a movie called The Page Master starring Macaulay Culkin. Live action anime film called The Page Master. It's called Dream Away, sung by Babyface and Lisa Stansfield. Duet from the movie. We get this all settled right back. Okay, here it is to close out the show for all of you tonight. This on midnight. It's called Dream Away from the movie The Page Master, starring live action anime movie starring Babyface and Lisa Stansfield. So here's close out the show and good night to all of you. Hold on a second. Good midnight to all of you, I mean. Here it is, Dream Away by Lisa Stansfield and Babyface from the movie from 1994 live-action animated film Page Master starring Macaulay Culkin. Celebrates its 30th anniversary this Saturday. Childhood movie. So here it is to close out the show, Dream Away by Lisa Stansfield and Babyface from the movie The Page Master. Have a good midnight. I'm out of here. Peace. Hold on a second.